as I mentioned in the intro, I'm a big Sopranos guy. Like I'm a big Sopranos fan. I just had on Robert Eiler not too long ago. We were
Oh,
talking.
wow.
Yeah, it was great, and he was telling stories about Tony Sirico. He's telling these and
Tony wasn't acting.
no,
He
that's
wasn't
what he
acting.
said. That's what he said. He what his line that he said a couple different times is that people tell him that they always wanted to meet James Gandolfini. He's like, I wish you would have. He's a great guy. And they said, oh, I wish I would have met Tony Sirico. He's like, you did. You did meet Tony Sirico. Every time you turn the TV on, you met him. Yeah, that's what he's saying. So
that was an interesting, like, again, how do you play a young version of a character that is not really a character, it's more the person
right.
doing that whole thing. Again, yeah, that was a fun little deep dive into that whole thing. And I'm pretty sure they hated the director hated my performance.
Who hated your performance?
That's
I don't think that's true, man. Because from the Sopranos people I talking about that I talked to is that the reason going into your performance, the reason I thought it felt real. I think that, like, I'll just say if you can take one of those characters and it can come off Saturday Night Live-ish. You didn't. You came out like you came off real, and I think that's what comes into a problem. There is that sometimes especially when you're doing that kind of thing where you have an idea of what it was. Those guys who did the original roles, they just did it. They just did it.
I think I've always approached like living people that way. Is like you don't want to do an impersonation of them,
right?
You kind of just want to catch what is their essence, like what is their breath, like
right.
How do they breathe, what are they holding, and that's how kind of always approach kind of real life characters. It's like you don't want to do a copy.
No, you can't. You can't. It just
you can't.
No, it's not authentic, and it has no
depth
at all. It could feel really cotton candy.